Let's dive into the content of Boruto 2 Blue Vortex. After the opening, hello everyone, welcome to the channel, and before we get into the content, leave your like, subscribe to the channel, and activate the bell. This way, you won't miss anything. And let's get to the video. The title of Boruto Chapter 18 is Sleep on It. We have Matsuri as the cover for Chapter 18, a falling out with Sarada over Boruto. As Sumaire ambles forward listlessly, what sight meets her eyes? Page 1, the chapter starts with Sumire. We see her arriving in a room. Page 2, as soon as she enters the room, she comes face to face with Kawaki attacking Amato. She's immediately shocked and says, "Kawaki-kun." Kawaki then says, "Cool it, Sumire. I'm still sane. I may have gotten a little rough, but this is nothing more than a simple chat." Page 3. While Sumire is frightened by the situation, Kawaki says, "At this stage, it's too late for me to do anything about the parts of my body you've made into your little toy. That being said, you're not the boss of me. My decisions are mine to make. Change my settings, damn it. Switch my specialty to attack mode. You say you aren't interested. Then our time here is through. I'll kill you on the spot." Sumire, scared, tries to persuade Kawaki, shouting his name, "Kawaki-kun." But Kawaki tells Amato not to test him. You know what happens when you look into these eyes. Page 4. After saying that, Kawaki slightly releases Amato's neck, telling him to think carefully about his response. But Amato only says, "Save the sleep talk for when you're asleep, Kawaki." Page 5. After these words, we see a close-up of Kawaki's eyes, and then Kawaki passes out, while Amato is freed. While Amato touches his neck, breathing, he says, "Damn Kawaki." But it's Sumire who seems more shocked, understanding that the same thing happened with Delta. Could this be an emergency command from Amato? Page 6. Amato looks at Sumire and says she arrived at a good time. The scientist asks the girl to help him take the unconscious Kawaki away from there. Then the scene changes and we go to the Sand Village. We see Sarada, Mitsuki, and Ryu approaching Yodo and Araya. Page 7. Mitsuki then introduces them to Ryu, saying to the Shinju, "Look at the girl, that's Yodo, and the one with the katana is Araya." Araya then greets him, welcoming him, but Yodo looks very serious, staring directly at Ryu. Ryu then says to Mitsuki, "Is it just my imagination, or is she staring at me?" Page 8. Sarada then intervenes, saying that strangers make Yodo like this because she's very shy. Araya then calls out to Yodo, saying, "Yodo, calm down. You're not a child anymore." Then we move to the conversation between Konohamaru and Matsuri. They are sitting on a rock, side by side. Matsuri says, "That's how it is. What do you think?" Konohamaru says, "I'm not sure, but it doesn't seem like there's anything physically wrong with you. Your coloring isn't bad either." Page 9. She then says, "I don't know why, but I'm nervous, and the more we talk, the more relaxed I get. I wonder why." Konohamaru says this is the first time they've met face to face, so it's normal. Then Matsuri, still very flushed, says she's finally discovering her true self, and it's very fun. Then she asks if there's a problem with her calling him Konohamaru-chan. Page 10. Then Konohamaru remembers when Moegi called him Konohamaru-chan. We see scenes of them as children, then as adults. At that moment, he looks at Matsuri, and we see sweat dripping from Konohamaru, clearly showing he's uncomfortable with the question. Matsuri, still very flushed, asks what happened, what's wrong. He says, "It's nothing." Page 11, we return to Ryu's group, where the Shinju says, "By the way, where are they? Those clues you had leading to that Boruto bastard. You said they'd be somewhere around here, right?" Sarada looks at the Shinju, remembering she said something about this. Then she changes the subject by saying, "Did you see anything?" Ryu then begins to release iron sand around him. This startles Sarada, who asks what he's doing. Ryu says he's going to search the entire area from there. That way, he'll be able to enter more quickly. Page 12. As soon as the iron sand passes by Yodo, it catches the Shinju's attention, who says, There's a lot of killing intent coming from you. You were looking at me. You're not thinking of killing me, are you?" Yodo then tells him not to worry about it. She's a ninja, so that's the intention she always carries. Page 13. While Ryu looks at her suspiciously, Mitsuki calls out to him, saying, "Hey Ryu, I just wanted to confirm something with you. Boruto is a traitor to Konoha. That's why we're hunting him to end him. But why are you after him?" Ryu then says, "To be honest, I don't even know myself. It seems like they have a lot of information about us. He knows about the Soul Thorn, for example." At that moment, this catches Sarada's attention, who says, "Soul Thorn." Page 14. Ryu continues saying that he knows this and more, which is why Jura Senpai said they need to end Boruto. Sarada then speaks to Ryu, saying that Boruto had mentioned something about the Soul Thorn. She asks Ryu what the Soul Thorn is. She completes by saying they could use this as bait to lure Boruto out of hiding. Page 15. Then the scene changes. We see Kawaki waking up. He's in Amato's laboratory. Amato says, "Kawaki, stay calm, let's talk." Page 16. Amato says, "I know what you want to say. The humanoid Shinju are certainly a threat. The birth of those creatures was beyond expectations. In order to compete with them, we might end up with no choice but to change your directives. To attack mode." Then we see Akebi's body. While getting up from his chair, Amato says, "Well, I have a condition for that." Page 17. Amato then says, "This isn't Delta, this is my daughter, a clone of Akebi, a body I've prepared as a vessel for her rebirth." Page 18. Amato continues, "The work of God, this action can only be completed by your karma. Please, I beg you, Kawaki, fulfill this wish of mine. This is all. This is my condition." With the looks of Kawaki and Sumire, page 19. Kawaki then says, "I said it before, and I'll say it again. If your daughter revives as an Otsutsuki, I'll kill her without mercy." Amato then says, "The chances of that happening are very small, but if Akebi revives as an Otsutsuki, then there's nothing I can do. Do what you want, but I will give you this opportunity with all my strength." Page 20. Kawaki then tells Amato that he cannot accept this request. The upgrade in his powers has to come first. Reviving someone who might potentially become an enemy doesn't seem right. Amato then says, "Kawaki, please listen to me." Kawaki then states his condition. "I want to end these problems first. After that, I give you my word I'll place the karma in your daughter, with the condition I can end her if she turns into an Otsutsuki. But all this comes after the current issues are resolved." Page 21. Amato then argues that Kawaki's current defensive settings make him almost immortal, but if he alters the command to attack mode, Kawaki will become much more vulnerable, no longer guaranteeing his life. And if the Shinju kill him, his dream is over. Kawaki then says he's not worried about his life. He doesn't want guarantees for that, but to kill these monsters, he wants to become a monster that surpasses them. Page 22. Looking at Sumire, Kawaki says, "No matter if this is science, use everything you have and push me to my limit. The humanoid Shinju, Code, and Boruto. After I eliminate all of them, you will finally meet your daughter." Page 23. The scene changes and we go back to Konohamaru and Matsuri's group. Once again very flushed, Matsuri says this is the best day of her life, just being able to talk with him for so long. Konohamaru-chan. "Well, I haven't been alive for long, but anyway, this is very fun." Konohamaru then interrupts her, saying, "Wait a second, would you mind not calling me that?" Page 24. Then Matsuri says, "But why? What's wrong?" Konohamaru says, "It's nothing, it's just that only one person called me that. And well, it makes me a little uncomfortable. Could you just call me Konohamaru?" Page 25. At that moment, Matsuri looks at him seriously and says, "Only one person? But who is that bitch?" Now Konohamaru, frozen, says, "It's nothing, she doesn't mean much to me." Page 26. Matsuri now with an angry expression says, "By chance, is this bitch you're talking about Kazamatsuri Mo?"